Let's talk about why purpose and having a purpose is so important when you are coming to a point in your life where you know something needs to change, or you are in a environment, a relationship, a situation that feels like it doesn't fulfill you. Now, what is really common when we are stuck, not knowing what direction to go in, feeling like we don't want to grow in the area that we're in. Maybe it's in career, maybe it's in the relationship where one of us is growing and the other person is staying more stagnant. What is important in this space is to know what gives you purpose and what to be moving towards, what direction to move towards. This is as an individual and in relationship. Many of us have fallen into relationships and have attached through insecure attachments. And when we do this, the purpose within the relationship hasn't been clearly outlined and understood in a way where if things become challenging, are we willing to work through them, get couples therapy, work on our own insecurities, our own protective mechanisms, our own habits to strengthen the relationship so we can move towards our shared purpose? Now, similarly, in that as an individual, you want to work towards your own purpose. When we don't have purpose in our life, what it will feel like is an increase in depression and anxiety, and it will feel as though there's something missing in our life. The statement can be something like, "Is this it?" It can also be, "What's the point?" It can be, "Fuck it, I'll do what I want then." So we can have these different statements that are showing us we're not fully in our purpose, or we don't understand what it is. So how do we get there? What do we do to understand what gives us purpose? What makes us feel fulfilled and successful from an inner motivator? So many of us know the external things that motivate us, but when it comes to the inner motivator, we're not quite sure what motivates us or expands us, makes us feel good, where there's an even energy exchange, where we might be using our natural talents to start a business, to work in an industry that fulfills us. Many of us don't even know that this is possible for us, right? And we've got to start believing that it is possible, especially if you've grown up in family dynamics where self-abandonment and working hard was valued highly, not, cultivating your gifts. So when we aren't in our purpose, or what gives us purpose, we'll feel like directionless. And we're then susceptible to trying to find relief in places. So this is where our addictive tendencies can amplify. Now, what is an addictive tendency compared to like an addiction? Addiction's quite a lot more obvious, right? We have people who have addictions such as drug, alcohol, and other addictions that create dysfunction in life, create a lot of chaos. There are also addictions that we have that still create disharmony, chaos, maybe health problems, but they're a little more accepted in society. So we don't realize that they're addictions because everyone has them, right? Or many people have them. This is where, if we are not in alignment with knowing what really gives us purpose, we then default to our protective mechanisms, our habits, our addictions, our wanting external validation. We'll have this part of us that feels desperate for relief, because purpose gives us a relief of, it feels like contentment, inner peace, knowing I know what direction I want my life to go in. I know what direction, we know what direction we want our relationship to go in, what legacy we want to leave behind. So this is what we're working towards as a team. And then as an individual, I know what I'm working towards for myself. And so what that does is, anytime we detour into those addictive tendencies, which we all have, anytime we become out of alignment, it will become very clear, because we know what direction we want to go in. We know what we need to do to get there. And when we detour because of something's happened, which is very normal, when we come out of alignment, it's normal because we learn something new about ourselves to evolve into our higher potential, to work towards our purpose. That contrast is what we need in order to feel content in our lives. Without that contrast, so if I'm just in what gives me purpose and I'm not thinking about anything else and I'm just doing that, then what I might find is I'm not putting energy towards relationships or other things in my life. So if I'm also just in my addictive tendencies, or I'm constantly going in and out of it, but I'm also directionless and I'm feeling more depressed and anxious and empty, then that is what I'm creating. So what we need is a balance. And when we have addictive tendencies, they're always going to be there. They're going to pop up in times of stress, and it will be the default of the mind. It will know what has been done before to relieve that stress. So it will ruminate on it, and when you're stressed, it will get even louder and louder and will default to the coping mechanism that gives us relief. So what purpose does is it gives you a reason to not make that choice, to not listen to the mind when it wants to focus on the addiction. It will give you that, because when we come out of alignment, what gives us purpose, we will start to get unwanted results. So if I'm in my purpose, I'm starting to get a really great income, I'm the energy exchange there, I'm putting value out into the world, and I'm getting the positive reinforcement from the world back. If I'm out of alignment to that purpose, what will happen is my money will start to dwindle, my relationships will start to break down, my health will start to suffer, and that will show me that I'm out of alignment. If I have this purpose I'm working towards, then I've got a really good reason to come back into alignment. If I don't, then I can say things like, fuck it, or I can say things like, is this it? I'm just going to do the thing that I already know. We don't have that direction. So being present with ourselves and grounded enables us to come into what gives us purpose. That is how we can start to explore our inner motivation, our inner world. So the importance of having a purpose is that anytime you go back into the addictive tendencies, or your protective mechanisms come in, and your fight, flight, or freeze response comes in, your anxiety increases, or depression starts to increase as well, these symptoms increase, the purpose is going to be what brings you back into alignment, because you'll say, I need to look at this. I need to self-reflect. I would like to get some support and help with this, because I have this bigger purpose that I'm working towards. And I know, as I'm collecting evidence in that space, I know this is what's good for me. This is the healthy space I want to be in. This is my higher self. This is me stepping into my potential. And there's a real contentment and confidence that comes with that as you work more and more through these limiting beliefs, through these core woundings, through the shadows. You then start to step into more and more of your natural gifts.